You know who we are.
I told the police. I couldn't see the guy on account of the blood being in my eyes.
Oh.
Could be Lenny.
Who's Lenny? Comes in here a lot. Drink pretty heavy. Heard him say a few things over the years about guys like Hess.
It's not Lenny.
That's him, at the bar. With the band-aid on his head.
Oh shit, he really does look like him though. Poor Lenny.
The Russians, they used to send dogs up into space, which is stupid because what's a dog gonna do in space? At least with a monkey, they can operate the equipment and something.
Deep. Deep.
You like playing with knives? Oh, you keep talking, big boy, you're gonna find out.
Lenny! R.I.P. Lenny.
What the guy? I don't think it's him.
Delicious. Just a few more.
What'd you say your name was again, handsome?
Frank Peterson, ma'am. I work for Mike, your divorce attorney.
Oh, charmed, I'm sure. Oh, sorry, just bronzed. Your ass looks amazing, darling. Keep it up.
So anyway, I've been tasked to put together a complete record of your husband's assets. We want to get you the biggest divorce settlement possible. Now, I've got your husband's net worth estimated at 10 million.
More.
15? Ma'am, can you confirm that your husband started his first grocery with a loan from his uncle, like it says in the book?
That's the story.
But you don't believe it.
Stavros had two uncles. One was a drunk who lived in a barn, and the other died in a fishing accident when he was 10.
So where did the money come from?
Hey, Ma.
Frank Peterson.
Oh, yeah, from the store.
Hey, I got one for you. What kind of bone will a dog never eat?
Chicken.
A trombone.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. A trombone. Oh, my dad liked that one.
He's a hard on your father, and you're too trusting.
He's my dad, and you're my mom, and everything's gonna work out, okay?
Aren't they just the sweetest pair?
I think someone was breastfed a little too long.
She's in the basement, dead, and look, I'm freaking out here. I don't know what to do.
He taped it.
Yeah, it's me. It's Lester. She's my wife. She's
Yes.
Look, I think she's in the basement, dead, and look, I'm freaking out here. I don't know what to do.
Lester, have you been a bad boy?
Keith.
Bronzer.
Here.
Oh, sorry, just bronzed.
Sure, Lester, I'll be right there.
All right.
This place is a shithole. You need to pack up your shit and blow. I'll tell Stavros you couldn't find the guy. And in return, I will bust your head. You hearing me, asswipe?
What the fuck?
I'm the guy. You understand me? So give me the letter, pack up your shit, and... How you doing? That's disgusting.
That is fucking disgusting. Oh my god.
Okay, Slick. I got your number. You were warned. Semenko warned you.
So, just want to make sure we're on the same page about everything. About Lester and the case. You know, just want to make sure you know to focus on the break-in angle. Maybe call some other towns, see if they had a similar problem. No, higher.
Similar to 3 murders, including the police chief?
Not, you know, literally. Just ruffians and the like. Right there.
Oh, he's
Perfect.
such an idiot.
Yeah, but I think,
Just leave poor Lester alone, will you?
Scrub his name off. What's he doing? Oh, is there a hammer in there?
You'll be in Gordo's room. He's on the sofa, which is... don't worry. His dad built him a fort. He loves it.
The pay.
Oh.
You knew about the pea in the jar, mason jars. Oh, he's such an idiot.
But here at Phoenix Farms, it's always summer.
So I've been thinking maybe I should sell the place, you know? Get a, what do you call it, a fresh start?
Yeah? That's great. I'll call Jimmy. It's a fine market right now, he says. Real good.
Oh.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I am so sorry.
I need something for a wound, I guess you'd call it. Something to keep it from getting infected.
Okay, that'd be an antibacterial.
All right.
I got some in the back.
Mr. Nygaard?
Yeah. Oh, hiya.
Hi. Deputy Salverson again. I just have a few more questions. Is now a good time?
Well, not really. I'm kind of in the middle of...
Sure, yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, won't take a second. So listen, going back to the emergency room, that first visit, that was for a broken nose, is that right?
Shoot. I just remembered.
Sir.
You know, I gotta be honest. I'm starting to feel a little harassed here.
Now, that's
Sir,
not...
you're ungood. Sir.
I think he means you. Well, sir, it's hard to believe is all, you know? I mean, you're saying this is all some big coincidence, you know, and Sam and all. And it's a quiet town, and suddenly we got 4 victims in 24 hours, yourself included. And then there's this witness saying that you were talking about Sam Hess the day he died, and, you know, then it turns out you and he had differences in the past, so, you know, all I'm saying is just help me understand what happened.
Look, I answered all your... Just ask Bill. Huh? Your boss? He said he was satisfied.
She's amazing. I love her. Absolutely amazing. You get it, Molly.
So how's it going?
Well, it turns out Lester and Hess went to high school together, and Hess used to beat him up.
A learned detective might consider that a clue.
Yeah, that's what I said. But Bill's a big believer in coincidence, apparently.
Well, what he lacks in common sense, he makes up in self-esteem.
Yeah.
Oh!
Bill have a theory?
Oh, yeah, he says that it was a spree, you know? A drifter, or, quote, gang of drifters. You know, like it's 1942. Like, drifters are a national threat. Hobos.
He's chief now, so he sets the agenda, same as always.
I mean, you know, here we get this car crash with this dead man in frozen panties nearby.
And the driver has a head injury, and maybe he went to the emergency room where he talked to Lester about Sam Hess. And then within 24 hours, Hess is dead. And then there's the fracas with, Lester's wife and Bert.
When you were 5, they had to put you under anesthesia to fix your teeth. My soft little girl in a hard world of drills and needles.
I carry a gun.
I know, but it's relative, There's the kind of things a school teacher gets exposed to. And then there's the stuff a cop sees. Murder and violence. And then there's the kind of deal you're looking at now.
Which is?
Savagery, pure and simple. Slaughter, hatred.
You talk a lot, you know that?
It's always been a problem.
Lester Nygaard called me, yeah, and he's super upset. I thought I was clear that we were going to focus on the drifter angle and not, harass the victim.
I didn't harass him. I got questions,
Yeah, well, I'm the chief now, and everyone's got to line up behind me, toe the line. And now I got to take you off the case.
What?
Well, we all know how you felt about Vern. I mean, heck, who didn't? But, and this could be good for you career-wise, because I'm going to make you head of inquiry on that frozen fella, the naked one. Yeah, I'll make you lead on that.
And
Yeah, so that's my decision. Take care.
He might have inadvertently done her a favour because that's connected, so she could swing around and get this case from the other angle.
Oh, okay then.
But what a dick, though.
Breathe the sweet sigh there. To live with the dawn.
Ow. Bye,
The
Lenny.
new moon. Tides.
Oh, shit.
And the rain.
No!
And lose all sense of time. The village.
Oh, Lenny.
Visit the market.
Oh, Lenny, you're about to have a terrible death.
And it's come and go.
No. Wait.
And man have me a ball.
Bloody hell. Oh, okay. First things first, cracking episode. Really liked it. Anything else want to make a noise? So we're seeing the aftermath of the murders at the Nygaard house. And one of the worst outcomes of this whole situation is that now Bill is the chief. And in the paraphrased words of Lou, Molly's dad, his incompetence is matched only by his self-esteem. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. Anyway, so he's an idiot who has the kind of conviction in his own opinions that only an idiot can have. And he's created this ridiculous idea that there's some drifter went on a killing spree. Anyway, long story short, he's just pissing all over the case. Molly's absolutely on the right track. She's like, look, this is a quiet town, this stuff just doesn't really happen here, and there are these obvious connections, and she's trying to get to the bottom of it, and Bill's like, ugh, everyone needs to get behind me. So he ends up throwing her off the case. But he's made her head of inquiry on the guy from last episode, who our assassin chap, remember he had him in the boot and then he went running off and then ended up frozen? So that's going to give Molly an in. He doesn't realise, but he's actually given her a way of finding another link into this case, and she may end up solving it from that angle, because if she can identify the guy, she can figure out the killer, there you go. It's dominoes at that point. She's going to start knocking them down because she's really quick. So that was really cool. Lester is Lestering. He's hopeless. Poking his wound in front of people, acting shifty as hell, back in the house trying to, I don't know what, with the hammer. He's off on another planet. But he's benefiting at the moment from people's complacency and idiocy. He's benefiting from people underestimating him. so that they wouldn't think this would be something that he would even be capable of, let alone, you know, want to do. And he's also benefiting from a person of that character type happening to be chief of police right now. He's essentially trying to keep Molly away and insulate himself with all of the idiots that he's surrounded by. And then we've got Officer Brimley, who has now heard about what's going on in Bemidji. He's actually taken down the details of the assassin's car, but he's having a moral quandary about, you know, what is his primary function here. He sees his primary role as to be a dad, which means he needs to keep himself safe so he can bring up his daughter. But also, he's supposed to be a police officer, and he's supposed to be also protecting other people. And the longer he keeps this to himself, the more damage that guy can do. Because he's not arrested, he's not in prison, he's roaming around free because Officer Brimley isn't willing to take the risk of trying to tackle him. I totally get the quandary, by the way. I'm just presenting the conflict in him, which I'm not a parent, but I would imagine if I was, I would have. And his daughter's kind of unknowingly nudging him towards fulfilling his duty as a police officer, almost inadvertently giving him her blessing to take that risk. I hope that doesn't come back to bite her in the ass, because can you imagine? Anyway, meanwhile, the Jewish lady next door is like giving him a private naked situation across the windows, which, by the way, I could not live in those circumstances where you're like that close to your neighbours. You're sitting there eating your tea and you look left, they're sitting there eating their tea. That would freak the hell out. In terms of the Rooster prints, I'm going to have to think about exactly how that played into this. I mean, it could be that Molly needs to somehow make Lester feel more comfortable around her to be able to get some key details from him, rather than going in quite so hard. Although I do think as a first approach that was really effective, because she unsettled him, and I think she got to see what he's like under pressure, and that was really great. So now I think she can be a bit more cunning, because she's pretty confident now about what she's dealing with. I don't necessarily think she knows he did it yet, but I think she's got a high level of certainty that something is amiss, and it's in him. We got these two new characters. They're coming to figure out if they've got an issue with who Hess was killed by. So I'm assuming these guys are some sort of like truck mafia that want to make sure that nobody is, basically that Hess wasn't attacked as part of like a rival cartel or something, and they want to clean up the mess. They don't like the uncertainty around how this happened. They want to know who did it. They want to make a statement and get that person gone. I mean, they've just killed Lenny, and they knew it wasn't even him. So they're not just taking out the guilty, they're taking out the suspects. So they're doing their thing. Okay. Then we also had the assassin is now working with what was his name? Milos Stanos, or anyway, a Greek guy who has received this ransom note for a ridiculously specific, it was like something like $40,316 or something. Weird. The assassin is, doing the digging. What's he called himself now? Frank Peterson? I don't think that's his name. I think that's the identity he's using for this job. But his task is to find out who's responsible for this and off them. The chief suspect seems to be the bronzer wearing personal trainer guy. But I don't know, I kind of fancy Dimitri somehow. That was really creepy. We keep seeing Dimitri, and I feel like that was a kind of, they were laying it on a bit thick. I think that was a classic kind of remember this character, and that was creepy, him like hugging in on his mama's boobs. No. Yeah, fantastic. I'm really enjoying the way that this is developing. We've got like these mystery elements, so it's kind of like, it's like a reverse whodunit. I'm loving all of the characters at the moment. I think Molly is my favourite character at the moment, and then it would be the assassin. So those are kind of my two favourite characters. I can't stand Lester. I'm enjoying watching him, but I can't stand him, and Bill has gone right down my ranks. So those are my favourite and worst characters at the moment. I enjoy watching all of them, so it's not a comment on who I'm enjoying watching. It's kind of my reactions, feelings-wise, to the characters. Some I'm enjoying hating, and some I'm just enjoying, period. So, episode 2 down, on with crack. Thanks for watching, and until the next time, bye-bye.